guys, the Black Critic Guy, and happy 4th of July / Independence Day to each and every one of you. I hope you're all having a rip-roaring time with friends and family, going to cookouts, going to the park, the beach, seeing fireworks. Whatever you guys are doing today, make sure that it's amazing. And to commemorate the birth date of our nation, I thought we'd shine a light and celebrate the birthday of an American icon from the Marvel Universe. And I'm pretty sure you all know who I'm referring to. I mean, come on, who else could I be talking about on the 4th of July besides Steven Rogers, aka Captain America, who coincidentally, or you know what, I don't even think I should say coincidentally because his name is Captain America. Of course he was born on the 4th of July. And it's actually his 100th birthday today in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In the comic books, he's still 98 because he was born in 1920. But in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, he was born in 1918. And so today marks his 100th birthday. And to commemorate his 100th birthday, I thought we'd share 100 facts about the Star-Spangled Man with a plan. And joining me in this video is fellow Captain America fan and great guy all around, a good friend, a longtime friend, Jay from Comic Frontline. And so now, let's get into the list.
Number 1. Captain America's full name is Stephen Grant Rogers, but you can just call him Steve. Chris Evans' full name is Christopher Robert Evans. You can call him one of the Chris's.
Number 2. He was born to Irish immigrants named Sarah and Joseph Rogers. Both died when Steve was a young boy.
Number 3. While in the comics, his birthday is July 4th, 1920, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, his birthday is July 4th, 1918. He's now 100 years old.
Number 4. In the comics, Cap stands at a good 6'2", weighing 220 pounds. He has blonde hair and blue eyes. In the MCU films, Cap stands at 6 feet, weighing 194 pounds. He has light brown hair and blue with a tint of green eyes. Number 5.
The movies and the comics also disagree on when Steve actually became Captain America. In the comics, he got the Super Soldier Serum in March 1941, at the age of 20. While in the movies, he received it in 1939 when he was 21.
Number 6. The Super Soldier Serum that gave Captain America his abilities also keeps his body from suffering the negative effects of age. Steve does age, but his cells work at peak human conditions, which means they don't suffer rapid cell degeneration.
Number 7. The Super Soldier Serum not only gives Cap super strength, he also has super reflexes and super senses. A combination of his enhanced vision and reflexes allows him to dodge bullets and use his shield.
Number 8. According to the Marvel Strength Scale, which appears in the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, Steve Rogers can lift 800 pounds. We've also seen him hold the debris of a building crumbling around him.
Number 9. The Super Soldier Serum isn't as dependable as some may think. It has failed him numerous times, and has even been drained from him, which caused him to revert to his actual age twice, and both times he was returned to fighting form with the assistance of the Red Skull.
Number 10. The Super Soldier Serum at one point even crippled Captain America. Fortunately, his friend Tony Stark created an exoskeleton suit designed with his fighting abilities and sensibilities in mind to combat the paralysis. Kinda similar to Rhodey's mechanical legs in Captain America's Civil War.
Number 11. Besides the Super Soldier Serum being used in 2011's Captain America, the First Avenger, it was also shown in 2008's Incredible Hulk movie. Even though the vial of serum stolen by the Hydra agent in the First Avenger is broken, it was used to transform Emil Blonsky into Abomination.
Number 12. Captain America's healing factors affects him in a few ways, such as fighting off the bite of a vampire. In Ultimate Comics Avengers number 2, he was bitten by a vamped out Daredevil which turned him into a creature of the night. But by issue number 5, his body started resisting the vampire infection and he was back to his regular self fighting against the Vampire Avengers alongside Blade. That's pretty badass.
Number 13. Captain America also has an enhanced metabolism thanks to his healing factor, which makes it impossible for the dude to get drunk.
I can't get drunk. Did you know that?
What a lightweight.
Number 14. Captain America is the master of the martial art of American-style boxing and judo, and has combined these disciplines with his own unique hand-to-hand style of combat.
Number 15. Even though the movies and the comics disagree on the years he was born and when he became Captain America, they both agree that he went on ice in 1945.
Number 16. The MCU Captain America would have joined the war well before he was even created in the comics, as Joe Simon and Jack Kirby created the Super Soldier in 1941.
Number 17. Contrary to popular belief, Captain America was not created by Marvel. He was created by Joe Simon and Jack Kirby for Timely Comics.
Number 18. Captain America was designed as a patriotic super soldier who often fought the Axis power of World War II and was Timely Comics' most popular character during the wartime period.
Number 19. During World War II, Captain America sold over 1 million copies per month, outselling even Time magazine.
Number 20. Did you know that Captain America was almost named Super American? During World War II, Joe Simon and Jack Kirby wanted to create a character with a strong political standpoint because patriotic superheroes were very popular at the time.
Number 21. In 1941, when the first issue of Captain America Comics #1 came out, it depicted Captain America punching Hitler, and it received a lot of backlash. The creators received a ton of hate mail and threatening notes. In fact, the threats got so serious that police protective status was posted.
Number 22. Even though Stan Lee didn't create Captain America, he and one of the character's creators, Jack Kirby, were successful in reviving Captain America in 1964 in Avengers issue number 4.
Number 23. Coincidentally, Stan Lee's first ever published story was a Captain America story called Captain America Foils the Traitor's Revenge. It was also the first time the Cap used the shield as a weapon, which was Stan Lee's idea.
Number 24. In the MCU films, Captain America is referred to as the first Avenger, but in the comics, he's actually the sixth Avenger. The first Avengers were Ant-Man, Wasp, Hulk, Iron Man, and Thor. I think the more accurate title is the oldest Avenger, but let's be real, that's not as catchy as the first Avenger.
Number 25. Captain America officially joined the Avengers on March 10, 1964 in issue number 4, and was given founding member status in the Hulk's place.
Number 26. Captain America was the first superhero created in the Marvel Universe. He was created to be the ultimate soldier, and his creation sparked the uprising of villains in the Marvel Universe.
Number 27. Most of his recurring enemies embody ideologies contrary to the American values that Captain America is shown to strive for and believe in.
Number 28. After Captain America finds out the Avengers handyman Fabian is tripping hard on some unspecific drug, he insists that Fabian get treatment. Fabian responds with what could have been a one-off joke, but instead became a major plot point. He accuses Captain America of being a hypocrite because he owes all of his powers to the super serum drug.
Number 29. Captain America's co-creator, Joe Simon, claimed in his autobiography that he got the inspiration for the Red Skull from the cherry on top of a hot fudge sundae. I say nuts to that.
Number 30. Cap's shield was created by a skilled metallurgist working for S.H.I.E.L.D. named Myron McClane.
Number 31. In the comics, Captain America's shield is made out of adamantium and vibranium composite. The vibranium gives it the ability to absorb the vibrations from attacks, while the adamantium renders it near invulnerable to them. But due to licensing rights with Fox, who owns the X-Men rights, and adamantium being so tied to the Wolverine origins in the shield in the movies, it had to leave out the adamantium part.
Number 32. Although Cap's shield is made of both vibranium and adamantium, types of metals in the Marvel Universe, Magneto's ability to control and manipulate metal doesn't seem to work on Captain America's shield.
Number 33. Captain America's iconic round shield originally wasn't round. Instead, it was shaped like a medieval object that wasn't aerodynamic enough to be thrown around and used as a weapon on the battlefield. But due to a lawsuit by MLJ Publications, who had recently created their own superhero named the Shield, whose costume included a flag-like design on his torso that looked exactly like Captain America's original shield, the shield was changed to a circular look we're familiar with today. And now you can find the Shield comic book character at Archie Comics.
Number 34. To celebrate the 40th anniversary of Captain America, in issue number 255, Marvel Comics decided to finally give the Discus Shield an origin of its own, stating that it was a gift from the US President during World War II, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, for Cap's service in the war.
Number 35. Captain America's shield had a variety of looks in the comics. There's the original shield, which looked like the traditional shield found in the seal of the United States. Then the original disc shield with a blue outer strip followed by the white and the red stripes, and the blue center with the white star in the center. Then the disc-shaped shield with the outer stripe being red, and is the one that most often associated with Captain America today. He also had a wrist-mounted energy shield from Sharon Carter, which was capable of changing shape due to flexibility matrix. But most recently, Captain Hydra actually wielded another traditional looking shield that could break into two pieces, allowing him to hold one in each hand, making for double the weapon.
Number 36. Before obtaining the round shield in the comics, Captain America used a gun as his main weapon, but upon getting the round shield, he realized he could use it as an effective weapon and replaced his gun.
Number 37. Many are familiar with the MCU Captain America films, but did you know there were 4 live-action adaptations of Captain America prior to 2011's Captain America, The First Avenger? 1 in 1944, 2 TV movies in 1979, and a theatrical film in 1990.
Number 38. Captain America was not only the first Marvel character to appear in media outside of comics, but also was the first ever superhero film, with his serial film in 1944. His nemesis in the film was the Scarab, and his love interest and sidekick was Gail Richards.
Number 39. Dick Purcell was the first person to play Captain America on the big screen in 1944.
Number 40. Playing Captain America made Purcell an instant star, but the fame wouldn't last long as he died a few weeks after the film's release. According to film historian Raymond Stedman, the strain of filming Captain America had been too much for his heart, and he collapsed in the locker room at a Los Angeles country club on April 10, 1944, shortly after playing a round of golf.
Number 41. Chris Evans declined the role of Captain America 3 times before accepting the part, not out of dislike for the role, but because he feared what the effects of the sudden increase of fame would be on his private life.
Number 42. While Chris Evans did decline the role of Captain America 3 times, it was Robert Downey Jr. who convinced him to take it.
Number 43. Chris Evans was paid $300,000 for the role of Captain America in The First Avenger.
Number 44. Chris Evans was attracted to the role of Captain America by its character. He stated that even if it wasn't a comic book, I think the story of Steve Rogers is great. He's a great guy. Even if it was just a script about anybody, I would probably want to do it. It wasn't necessarily about the comic itself. He's a great character to play. He just happens to be a comic book character.
Number 45. Wolverine and Magneto were originally planned to have cameos in The First Avenger, as both characters have ties to World War II. But due to movie rights, neither appeared.
Number 46. Haley Atwell based her performance as Peggy Carter on a 1982 Frank and Ernest cartoon by Bob Thras regarding Ginger Rogers. Paraphrasing, she can do everything Captain America can do, but backwards and in high heels.
Number 47. In Captain America The First Avenger, Peggy Carter's reaction to Steve Rogers emerging from the pod as Captain America and touching his chest was improvised. The surprised look on her face was genuine, as she was quite taken with Evans' physique.
Number 48. The Captain America comic book shown in the 2011 film Captain America The First Avenger bears the cover of the actual Captain America issue number 1, released in 1941.
Number 49. Every Skinny Steve scene was shot at least 4 times. Once, like a normal scene with Evans and his fellow actors in the scene. Once with Evans alone in front of a green screen so his element could be reduced digitally. Again with everyone in the scene but with Evans absent so that the shrunken Steve could be reinserted into the scene. And finally with a body double mimicking Evans' actions in case the second technique was required.
Number 50. The second technique involved grafting Evans' head onto the body double. This technique was used mostly when Evans was sitting or lying down, or when minimum physical acting was required.
Number 51. To help create the illusion that he was smaller during the filming, when Evans had to interact with the other characters in the scene, they had to either lower him or raise the other actors on apple boxes or elevated walkways to make Skinny Steve shorter in comparison. For close-ups, Evans' fellow actors had to look at marks on his chin that represented where his eyes would be after the shrinking process, and Evans had to look at marks on the tops of the actors' heads to represent their eyes.
Number 52. The shield props were also made out of different materials depending on what their function was. A rubber shield was used when Captain America would use it to punch people with, magnets were used when he wore it on his back, and a CGI shield was used when he threw and caught the shield, with Chris Evans just miming the action that would later be added in post.
Number 53. Hugo Weaving has shared his disinterest in reprising his role as the Red Skull, mainly due to the makeup process, which is why Ross Marquand assumed the role in Avengers Infinity War.
Number 54. The song Star Spangled Man that plays during the montage scene in Captain America the First Avenger was composed by legendary composer Alan Menken, who many may know as the man who composed many of Disney's greatest songs, from The Little Mermaid, Beauty and the Beast, and Aladdin, to name a few. The lyrics were written by David Zippel, who worked with Menken before for Disney's Hercules.
Number 55. Cat's sidekick Bucky wasn't just Captain America in the comics, but actor Sebastian Stan was considered for the role in the first Avenger before Chris Evans.
Number 56. Captain America has a custom specialized motorcycle that's been heavily modified by SHIELD Weapons Laboratory. He also has a custom-built battle van that was made by the Wakanda Design Group with the ability to change its color for disguise.
Number 57. Captain America's comic featured Marvel's first African-American superhero, the Falcon.
Number 58. During the 2003 JLA Avengers crossover, Captain America gave his shield to Superman in a fight against Krona.
Number 59. At one point in his times in the comics, Captain America has been turned into a giant spider and a werewolf, which they called Catwolf.
Number 60. Steve Rogers hasn't always been Captain America. His erstwhile chum Bucky Barnes has filled the role, as well as William Naslund, who took the role after Rogers disappeared at the end of World War II. Even Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, has donned the red, white, and blue at some stage.
Number 61. In July 2014, the mantle of Captain America was officially passed on to Sam Wilson, better known as the Falcon.
Number 62. Surprisingly, Sam Wilson was not the first black Captain America. In 2003, writer Robert Morales and artist Kyle Baker created Truth, Red, White, and Black, a 7-issue miniseries that introduced Isaiah Bradley. The story begins in 1942 using the real-life Tuskegee syphilis study as inspiration for a tale that re-examined the history of the super soldier serum that created Captain America. The series follows a regiment of black soldiers who were forced to act as test subjects in a program attempting to recreate the lost formula used to turn Steve Rogers into Captain America. The experiments either mutated or died, all except for Isaiah Bradley. Bradley became an urban legend in the Marvel Universe among the black community and is also the grandfather of Young Avengers founding member Patriot.
Number 63. Steve Rogers was not the perfect specimen he is today. Before being injected with the super soldier serum, Steve Rogers had a litany of health problems, including but not limited to asthma, scarlet fever, rheumatic fever, epilepsy, sinusitis, chronic or frequent colds, high blood pressure, heart palpitations, fatigue, heart trouble, nervousness, prior contact with the tuberculosis patient, family history of diabetes, cancer, and stroke. Yikes!
Number 64. In Captain America and the Falcon issues number 13 and 14, Captain America actually got shot in the head by someone who held a serious grudge against the Falcon. It missed Falcon and killed the first Avenger, but only for 12 minutes as Cap's healing factor saved his life.
Number 65. The top half of Captain America's list of items to catch up on varies depending on the country in which the movie is being screened, while items like Typhoon, Star Wars/Trek, and Rocky remain universal.
Number 66. Even though Captain America missed the moon landing in the films, in the comics he was thawed in 1963, so he was around for the moon landing in 1969, and in the House of M event, he even took the first steps on the moon.
Number 67. My favorite and many others MCU movie, The Winter Soldier, was filmed with a few visual effects as possible. Anthony Mackie said, "They wanted to stay with live action, which is a dying art form. If they could build it, they built it. If we could do it, we did it. They wanted to do as little CGI as possible. That's why the movie looks so great." And I agree with him.
Number 68. During Peggy Carter's funeral in Captain America Civil War, Sharon Carter delivers a stirring speech that she attributes to her aunt about standing your ground. But the speech was actually first given almost word for word by Captain America in the Civil War comics.
Number 69. Even though Black Panther had his first solo movie in 2018, the character's very first live-action appearance was in Captain America Civil War, which was supposed to be a smaller role, but was bulked up when they thought they couldn't get the rights to Spider-Man in the film. But by the time they made the deal with Sony, Black Panther was already integral to the plot, so Spider-Man had a lesser role than originally planned.
Number 70. The bicep porn scene in Civil War, where Captain America stops a helicopter, actually resulted in a real bicep injury for Chris Evans.
Number 71. All three movies in Captain America trilogy involved Captain America falling into a body of water. The Arctic in the first Avenger 2011, the Potomac River in Captain America The Winter Soldier 2014, and possibly the River Spree in Captain America Civil War 2016.
Number 72. While losing his fight against Tony, Cap says,
"I could do this all day."
a callback to a line uttered in Captain America The First Avenger when facing similarly challenging odds.
"I could do this all day."
Number 73. Captain America has fought two US presidents in Captain America issue number 175. He fought the leader of the Secret Empire, who, according to the writer Steve Englehart, was then President Richard Nixon. And in Captain America issue number 344, he fights a Ronald Reagan-esque president who was turned into a snake man by the villainous Viper.
Number 74. Despite fighting two US presidents, going rogue many times, and rebelling against a government mandate in Civil War, Captain America surprisingly has no criminal record. Who would have thought?
Number 75. In the first Avenger, during the Expo, there is a mannequin in a red jumpsuit under a glass dome. This is a nod to the original Human Torch, the first superhero created by Timely Comics back in 1939, which would later become Marvel Comics. He is also a member of the pre-Avengers team with Captain America, The Invaders, and isn't to be confused with the Fantastic Four's Human Torch that Chris Evans portrayed in the two movies by Fox.
Number 76. Captain America is one of the few mortal beings that's deemed worthy enough to wield Thor's hammer, Mjolnir. This is also referenced in Avengers Age of Ultron, where he's the only person to be able to move Thor's hammer, albeit slightly.
Number 77. Upon revealing Captain America to be an agent of Hydra and Secret Empire, the writer Nick Spencer and Marvel were bombarded with hate posts on social media, some going as far as death threats.
Number 78. To try to calm the Captain America fanbase, Marvel and Spencer urged fans to finish Secret Empire to its end before hating the treatment of their beloved hero.
Number 79. 2017 wasn't the first time we've seen Cap played on the other side. In a 1979 storyline in Captain America Volume 1, Rogers is brainwashed by Dr. Faustus and the Grand Director into thinking he's a Nazi hero. He repaints his iconic shield into a swastika design and attacks a group of protesters before he is stopped and reverted to normal by Daredevil.
Number 80. Due to declining sales in 1996, Captain America, along with Avengers, Thor, Fantastic Four, and Iron Man were all cancelled and handed over to former employees Jim Lee and Rob Liefeld, who used their own studios to produce a line of 4 titles that included Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Avengers, and Captain America. Upon believing to have been killed by Onslaught, Franklin Richards created a new pocket universe in which these characters had their own origins reimagined for modern time. Captain America became a sleeper agent for America, being awoken when they needed him to fight in a war throughout the decades after he was originally created.
Number 81. Captain America didn't always have the A on his forehead in the Heroes Reborn pocket universe. For the first 6 issues, he had an eagle on his forehead, which has changed back to the familiar A due to the fans not liking the change, and Rob Liefeld leaving the book at that point.
Number 82. Despite how he's portrayed as a timid guy in regards to romance in the MCU films, Steve Rogers is quite the ladies' man in the comics, as he's romance characters like Peggy Carter, Black Widow, Natasha Stark, Wasp, Betsy Ross, Scarlet Witch, Rogue, Captain Marvel, Jane Foster, Jet Zola, and several others. Damn, this guy gets around.
Number 83. Captain America had more than one Barnes as his sidekick. In the Heroes Reborn universe, the original Bucky, James Barnes, had a granddaughter named Ricky Barnes, who became Captain America's sidekick Bucky in the present day.
Number 84. Another version of Ricky Barnes from Counter-Earth, a copy of the Heroes Reborn Earth where the heroes never left, came to the regular 616 Earth and assumed the former mantle of Captain America's other persona, Nomad.
Number 85. There are currently 2 versions of Steve Rogers in the main 616 universe. One is Captain Hydra, who was created by Kobik, the living cosmic cube, and the other is the original Captain America, who Kobik returned to fight Captain Hydra.
Number 86. Luke Cage and Jessica Jones' daughter Dani has been seen in a few different universes assuming the mantle of Captain America.
Number 87. In a post-apocalyptic future, where the Avengers but Tony Stark has been killed by a dark version of the Hulk named Maestro, Captain America and Black Widow have a son named James Rogers, in honor of their mutual friend, James Bucky Barnes.
Number 88. Captain America has died a few times in the comics, including being assassinated on live TV during the original Civil War event.
Number 89. Let's get meta for a second. In his civilian identity, Steve Rogers once worked as a comic book artist for the in-universe Marvel Comics Captain America comic.
Number 90. Before he became Captain America, Steve Rogers was a fine arts student specializing in, get this, comic books. Pretty meta, huh?
Number 91. Captain America at one point lived in another dimension called Dimension Z for 12 years, where he raised a foster child named Ian. Fought Armin Zola, Red Skull's henchman, and thought he lost both Ian and Sharon Carter.
Number 92. Since his introduction in 2011, Captain America, as well as his actor Chris Evans, has appeared in at least one Marvel Cinematic Universe film each year. He's the only character in the MCU to do this. These include the first Avenger in 2011, the Avengers in 2012, a cameo in Thor: The Dark World in 2013, the Winter Soldier in 2014, Avengers: Age of Ultron in 2015, Civil War in 2016, another cameo in Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017, and Infinity War and its upcoming sequel in 2018 and 19.
Number 93. 4 men have played Captain America in movies to date. Dick Purcell in 1944, Red Brown in 1979, Matt Salinger in 1990, and Chris Evans from 2011 to present day.
Number 94. Captain America's one sidekick, Rick Jones, has worked with other heroes as their sidekicks as well, including Hulk, 2 different Captain Marvels, and even Rom, Space Knight.
Number 95. In the 1970s, Steve Rogers decided to give up being Captain America following the real-life Watergate scandal. This was a clever move by Marvel to tie his series into current-day events, and he became Nomad in response to no longer being proud of his country.
Number 96. There used to be an official Captain America fan club called the Sentinels of Liberty. In the 1940s comics, the Sentinels of Liberty were a diverse youth group who supported Captain America in his battle against lawlessness in the United States. Although young fans enjoyed the fan club, they might not have realized Captain America and the Captain America fan club were deliberate attempts to inspire patriotism and national pride during World War II.
Number 97. As if being a superhero was not busy enough job, there was a storyline written in 1980 that involved Cap running for office. Hell, he would have had my vote.
Number 98. In 1985, get this guys, a Captain America musical was put into production with an astounding $4 million budget. Yes, you heard me right. An actual Captain America musical was being planned. But it gets better, guys. The show was going to depict Steve Rogers going through a midlife crisis, all the while rescuing his girlfriend, who just so happened to be a presidential candidate, from a terrorist group holding her captive at the Lincoln Memorial. Needless to say, it didn't get quite off the ground, although I'll state this for the fact, if they ever made a Captain America musical, I would see it in a heartbeat.
Number 99. Captain America has been merged with characters like the upcoming warping of him and Doctor Strange, which Tony will totally love that one, and my personal favorite, crossing companies in the Amalgam universe with my favorite Marvel character, Captain America, merged with my favorite DC character, Superman, becoming Steve Kent, the Super Soldier.
And finally, the moment you all have been waiting for, fact number 100. And trust me guys, this was well worth the wait, as we saved the best and most bizarre fact of them all for last. Here it is. Turkey once made an unauthorized film based on Captain America. You heard me right, this is a real thing. The country of Turkey made an unauthorized film based on Captain America. This film also featured Spider-Man, who apparently was the main villain of the movie. Yeah, Spider-Man. The film, titled Three Mighty Men, featured Captain America teaming up with a luchador wrestler named I'm not making this up. He teamed up with a luchador wrestler named Santos to battle against Spider-Man. Tell me you don't want to see that film right this very moment. Although it is so obscure that it's so hard to find. But if anybody out there can find this film to me, you'll be my best friend for life. In fact, that's the challenge I present to you guys after this video. Find me the Three Mighty Men. I want to see this film. I want to review it. I want to do a cringe theater of it. I want to see it. Find it.
And those, ladies and gentlemen, were 100 facts on Captain America. And we would love to know what you guys thought about our video. Did you find it informative and enjoyable? Or did you find it really boring, stale, and you couldn't get into it? And let us know if you'd like to see more videos like this in the near future. We do listen to your responses, and if it's positive and you guys want to see more, Jay and I will collaborate once again to give you guys 100 facts on another great hero or great comic book or whatever topic you guys want us to cover. I also want to take this time to thank Jay, who is actually the reason why this list was even made. He reached out to me a couple days ago saying, hey Tony, you want to do a facts video or some type of video on Captain America to celebrate his 100th birthday? And he thought of me instantaneously because I am the biggest Captain America fan, not the second biggest, Jay. I'm the biggest. Okay, look at this. If I had my shield right now, I would show it, but it's still in the States. But still, I'm the biggest Captain America fan. And I just said, hey, why don't we do this together? Why don't we make this video together? So I'm so glad that we finally got to collaborate. This is our first ever collaboration. Jay, thank you so much for thinking about me when you were thinking about making a video like this. And hopefully we get to collaborate soon. I hope to see you back on Comic Frontline. And again, guys, thank you all for watching. If you'd like to send me any fan letters, send it to this P.O. box right up here. Stay tuned, because I will be doing some more videos. The top 10 list will be coming soon. Hopefully another anime review, as well as Epix Con. It's coming, guys, and I'll be doing a full-length coverage of it here on my channel. And if you live in Guam, come check me out July 7th and 8th at the Agania Shopping Center. I hope to see you all there. And as always, guys, if you'd like to see more videos on the channel, be a part of the Black Critic crew, please hit that subscribe button below, like this video if you really enjoyed it, and I'm Tony Wild II, the Star-Spangled Man with a plan, known as the Black Critic Guy. Till then, peace, YouTube!